Thank you for joining us today. This is, again, like I said, our first ever Roca demonstration webinar. My name is Tim Traver. I've been at the company for about 7 years right now. I started working in the authentication center and I worked my way through, and now I'm over here as a sales manager within our seller growth and success team. I work right alongside Ryan, and together we work with Roca. We work with selling Rocas, talking to sellers about Roca. We're very excited about Roca. And yeah, in this webinar, we will be discussing the technical specs of our Roca sorter. We will be discussing the designs that the Roca has that are there to improve your store's efficiency, and also the features and enhance your in-store experience with, enhance your in-store experience, and then also discuss pricing options as well towards the end. With that being said, I'd like to pass it over to my partner in crime, Ryan, who will walk you through the presentation, and then I will pop back towards the end to help you with the Q&A. So take it away, Ryan.
Cool. Thanks, Tim. Yeah. Hi, everybody. Thank you, Tim, for introducing me. My name is Ryan Hudson. I'm the business development lead here for Roca at TCG Player. I've been with Roca for about 2.5 years now. It's been a great time talking with a bunch of stores who are looking to use automation as a tool to help them be more efficient within their stores, free up their staff's time so that they can be more beneficial, like doing more value work with inside their shops. So it's been great. I'm sure some of you I've talked with before that are on the call. And if I haven't talked with you before, welcome to the webinar. And again, at the end of the webinar, there will be a QR code. If you do want to book a meeting with me, we can talk about your store specifically, kind of how you're currently operating, and how the Roca can help and improve your shop. And yeah, we'll get into the webinar here. Just give it a sec. Cool. Today we're going to be talking about the Roca sorter, which is our 1,000 card capacity sorter. This sorter here itself, again, has 1,000 card capacity. It's 3 feet wide by 2.5 feet deep. It's about 1 foot tall. And then it does have a compressor pump on the side here, which can be placed above or below the sorter. We do know space is a little limited. We do provide longer tubes if you do need to move the compressor to save some space. And the compressor pump itself is about 9 inches wide, 28 inches deep, and 12 inches tall for this one. And again, this sorter is the 1,000 card capacity one that we have here. And then we'll also be talking about the Roca Sorter Max. The Roca Sorter Max is our latest product. It's a 3,000 card capacity sorter. You're going to be able to optimize time with it, do more cards in one shot, as it can fill 3,000 cards inside of the sorter here. This sorter itself, as you can see, is a little bit bigger in comparisons to the 1,000 card sorter. Obviously, it needs that room so that you can fit 3,000 cards into it. This one is 4 feet wide by 2.5 feet deep. It's about 16 inches tall. And the compressor pump, same as the 1,000 card sorter, can either be placed above or below. And this compressor pump is 7 inches wide by 30 inches deep. Now, both of the sorters, again, they do come in 2 capacity sizes. We have our 1,000 card capacity size and our 3,000 card capacity size. These sorters can be built to scan in 2 different versions. We have our standard card size version, which will be able to do Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, and Disney Lorcana. And then we have a Japanese card size version, which right now is Yu-Gi-Oh! Exclusively. In the future, we do plan to expand our catalogs into other TCGs as well. And those will come through software updates once we get those through beta and get those released to our customers. So, what is automation? Can you click that? Click or not working? Cool. What is automation? So automation, it's using a tool to automate that process, that manual process of organizing and digitizing your inventory. I'm sure most of you currently have staff that are great staff. We can recognize cards, go through them, and get them listed for you. But they could also be using their skills in other aspects of your business, like fulfilling orders, talking with customers, doing other stuff other than sitting doing that tedious task at that front counter, and getting those cards organized and then getting them uploaded to your TCG Player portal. So using a tool like the Roca is definitely going to help you out with that efficiency, free them up so that they're able to then do those other tasks and be able to fulfill other parts of your business there. So when it comes to the Roca, when you purchase it, what do you get when you purchase a Roca sorter? The Roca sorter, when you buy it, you do get the frame for the sorter, which is the big area where all the cards are going to be placed into and fully organized. You also get the compressor pump. Again, as mentioned before, that pump can be above or below if needed, or right next to it, whatever space you have available. And we do have those two tube lengths if you do need to move them for those areas. You also get a dedicated router for the Roca sorter. That dedicated router is to connect the sorter to a network so that I can get those like software updates, set releases, and also pricing, as well as emailing you a digital CSV, which then you can take, download, and upload to your preferred marketplace, such as like TCG Player, Finder POS, Crystal Commerce, and eBay even. So you also get a tablet. The tablet's going to be your interface for the sorter. That tablet, you'll be able to like look into, see the parts, if there's any parts that need to be replaced at any point. You also can do all your sifting and sorting options in there. Also look inside your sorter, see a live feed of the scans that are going on, and you'll be provided that, as well as a toolkit for future maintenance. So with the sorters, again, we're going to be talking about the 1,000 card capacity one and the 3,000 card capacity Roca Sorter Max. Here are our front loading trays. These loading trays are where you're going to place all of your cards into before each sort. So you place those cards into there. Orientation of those cards doesn't matter. They can be face up or upside down. If there is a back of the card showing, there is no image for it to read, so it'll place it into the reject bin there. But again, when you are putting your cards into the sorter, you'll load them up just before your sort and close the lid. So again, for comparisons on size, here's the sorter. It is a pretty big size to have those. The 3,000 card Roca Sorter Max tray is a little bit deeper. There are some changes in the Roca Sorter Max where we do have acrylic walls on the side so that there are LED lights underneath so that the lighting can catch those deeper cards and be a little bit better in image recognition due to that lighting. So if you're going to do a sort, you load up your cards into the sorter like I am here. And then from here, you'll use your tablet that I spoke about before, which is like your user interface. In this tablet, you'll be able to remove cards. You can also check those lifespans of those parts, like those filters or pistons and pumps. You click a request button, and we'll be able to send those things out to you. When you go to do your sort, you'll select your game type, your foiling type, your condition, and then you'll select which sorting option you would like to do. We have a ton of different sifts and sorts available for everybody, which we'll get into as well. But when you click start, the sorter is going to wake up. It's going to calibrate itself, check the prices. From there, the piston arm inside is going to move around. And then it's going to pick a card it wants to start with from your front loading tray. From there, it's going to show you a live feed of that scan, showing the name of the card, set of the card, and also the price of the card, the TCG market price. So here we have an inside view. There are two cameras inside the sorter. There's one on the gantry arm, which is the one that's going to identify the cards. And then there's one in the corner here that we're all looking at right now, just so you can see like a live feed of what's happening. So the sorter is going to go through after you hit start. It's chosen that card. It's going to start picking cards up from the front loading tray. That loading tray, again, based on your parameters, it's going to move those cards to the middle section of the Roca sorter. And once all 1,000 cards or 3,000 cards have been moved to the middle section of the Roca sorter, that middle section there is more of like a placeholder spot. A lot of people like to ask is like, if there's 13 bins plus a reject bin on the Max or 8 bins plus a reject bin on the 1,000 card sorter, does that mean I'm limited on how many sets I can put through? You're not necessarily limited on sets, you're more limited on capacity size. As the sorter is going to go through, again, placing those cards in the middle section, and then it's going to go back through, repicking those cards back up, and it's going to place them back into the front loading tray in their appropriate spots based on the parameters that you gave it. So if you said set alphabetical, bin 1 in there will be, that set will be within its alphabetical area. For example's sake, if it was A, it's going to be on top, and then B's will follow below. And how you'll do it is you'll take bin 1, and you'll stack it on top of bin 2, 2 on top of 3, all the way down to 8, giving you a sequential stack of set alphabetical. So we do have 50 plus options to organize your cards. Like we have different things of sifting for most valuable cards. So say you want cards above a certain price point that maybe you list on the marketplace, like cards above $1. You can have the sorter go through, pull out those value cards for you, and then you can set those aside until you accumulate 1,000, run them through a sort, giving you a fully sorted 1,000 cards ready to be uploaded to your TCG marketplace. Sorting 1,000 cards takes about an hour for it. It's a pretty quick process, as it's more of a yes/no process in comparison to the two-step process that's sorting will do. So like if you did set alphabetical, straight alphabetical, again, the sorter is going to pick those cards up, place them into the middle section of the Roca sorter, and then put them in their appropriate spots in the front loading tray. Sorting takes about 2 hours for 1,000 cards. So it'll be able to go through, organize those cards, digitize them, create a digital CSV that you'll be able to upload to the TCG marketplace. So yeah, again, you'll be able to sift for valuable cards, sort by rarity, sort cards by set, or sort by true alphabetical. And that is also another big thing that the Roca sorter has, is that true alphabetical. Is not all A's or all B's are going to be stacked on each other. It'll be like A, B, ABC within the name. And again, it's able to do that with that two-touch process. So again, once it's done sorting, it'll then email you a digital CSV file. You'll take that CSV file and download it. Once that CSV file is downloaded, you'll go into your TCG marketplace. From there, you'll go over to your pricing tab, where then you can go to import to stage. Once you get that file uploaded, you'll be able to get it into that staged area where you can make any adjustments to pricing or quantity amounts as well. And once they're in that staged area, again, you can review it, and then you can move them to live once you are all set and ready to go. Another cool feature we have with the Roca sorter is we do have a specify a set feature within there. So like if you're looking for certain cards out of a bunch of bulk, you can identify which set you're looking for, or if you're have a bunch of like reprint cards that may be a little bit like less recognized, you could throw those in, tell it which set it's from, and it'll be able to recognize those cards a little bit better. And if you are interested in the specify a set feature, you can reach out to our support team and they'll be able to upload it to your sorter. So that's a cool feature we do have as well. On top of that, we did just launch a new feature, which is our pack creator. With the pack creator, you can turn your bulk inventory into a profit center. With the pack creator, you can take those undesirable cards or less valued cards, creating custom packs of 10 with a few rares in there, or you can use the lot creator and spread out a bunch of different rarity amounts that you want per lot that you want to create. So yeah, turn those unsorted bulk inventories into sellable products using this new feature that we have updated to our customers. So most of you want to know the price of the sorters. So with the Roca sorter, we do offer an outright purchase cost of it. If you are interested in lower payments over a longer period of time, we do offer financing options through our third-party partners. If you are interested, I could always connect you with our financing partners, and they'll be able to give you more details on what kind of rates you may be looking at. Again, my meeting code will be at the end of the meeting. Feel free to book a meeting with me. Again, I'd love to talk to you about your business, how the sorter can help out. And if you are interested in financing, I'll be able to make those connections for you. If you're interested in the outright purchase of the sorter, for the Roca sorter, our 1,000 card capacity one, for the standard card size version, which does Magic, Pokemon, Disney, Lorcana, that sorter is $22,500 plus 600 shipping for it. And if you are interested in the Yu-Gi-Oh one, it is a little bit more at $23,500 plus 600 shipping for it. Now the Roca Sorter Max, again, is our latest product, 3 times capacity with it. It's a bigger machine. That sorter, if you are interested in purchasing it for the standard card size version, is $32,500 plus 625 shipping. And the Yu-Gi-Oh sorter again at $33,500 plus 625 shipping. Now, when you do purchase a Roca sorter, you do get a 1-year warranty with our comprehensive coverage and technical support plan. Now, this is a great plan to ensure that your Roca sorter stays up to date with the latest software updates. So like any quality of life stuff, any new improvements, such as the pack creator, which we have uploaded to our customers on the support plan. You'll get features like that inside that plan, as well as set releases. Whenever a new set is released, we'll get those updated to your sorters, as well as tech support. Tech support, we have a great support team. We have a private Slack channel for you. When you get a Roca sorter, you get a private Slack channel. In that Slack channel, say you heard a noise from the machine, it was operating funky, or whatever the case may be, you just want to talk Roca, you type it into that Slack channel. From there, it'll create a ticket for our team. They'll be able to look into whatever may be occurring, and they'll reach out to you through Slack or through Zoom to help and troubleshoot your sorter to get it up and operational as it should be. And on top of that, you'll also get parts included. Now, there are filters that need to be changed like every 4 to 5 weeks, greasing of the rails done like every couple of months. Again, the sorter does track that progress for those materials. You just click that request button and we'll send those things out to you. But it also covers things like your pump or your piston or any of those internal moving parts if they were to fail for any reason. So again, when you do purchase a Roca sorter, you'll get that for 1 year, 2,000 operating hours. After that year and the 2,000 operating hours, to ensure your Roca sorter is up to date with the latest software updates, set releases, tech support, and parts, it's 3,000 annually to stay up to date on that plan. And for joining our webinar today, we are offering free shipping to all those who attend today. So we will be able to provide you that, and you'll be able to get a sorter at a little bit of a discount. So on average, we do see our customers have a ROI of around 9 months. Now, these results may vary. It's all dependent on like the cards you're putting through, how you're optimizing the sorter, and how you're advertising, your business. So if you are optimizing that time, you're putting a bunch of cards in, you're uploading 1,000 cards every 2 hours, you should see some returns and profits there. Another example we do have here is just some sales charts we have of 2 sellers, befores and after installation. Seller A from Nevada was looking at around 100,000, and then that was before installation of the Roca sorter. After that, they obviously had the tools to be able to get through a bunch of cards quickly, and then also just they weren't bottlenecked at like bringing in more collections, so they were able to just continue to feed the sorter and get those cards sorted, organized, and listed. We did see them jump up to about a 306% increase, and then same with seller B from Utah, who was around that 100,000 mark as well. Introducing the Roca sorter to their business, we saw them jump up to around 211% increase. Now, we do have customer testimonial here. We do have Jersey Cards and Comics. And what he has said is, in terms of time savings, I would say it would be the equivalent of us having at least 1 more, maybe 2 more full employees. The best part is I didn't use the tool to eliminate anyone. It allowed me to take people who were useful and have them do something else aside from sorting cards all day. So over 3 years, based on 1,000 cards being fully sorted, every 2 hours during a 40-hour work week, Jersey Cards and Comics saves about $49,000. So again, kind of like what he's saying here is he didn't eliminate his employees. He freed up their time so that they were more valuable inside his business, and is able to utilize them in a little bit more of a fashion than having them sit at the counter or back room, organizing and digitizing their inventory to sell online. And so now that we've gone through everything on the sorter itself, we do have the Q&A section. And I believe during sign up or setup, we had asked people some questions, and we're going to answer those now. What do we got?
All right. And with that, I will jump back on camera to ask questions to Ryan. So first question that we have is the availability of customer service / tech for Roca. I believe you touched on that a little bit, but I wanted to know if you wanted to expand on that.
Yeah. As I mentioned before, on that tablet, you do get that private Slack channel, which will put you in contact with our team. And from there, they'll get that ticket, and they'll be able to look into your sorter, and they'll get back to you as quick as they can to ensure that your Roca is up and operational.
Perfect. Okay, and then the next question is, will leasing a Roca return anytime soon?
I am not sure if it will. It is something we'll look into, and it's definitely something that the team's gonna have to look into. Currently, at the moment, we don't offer the leasing option. If you are looking for those smaller payments over a longer period of time, again, we do have a financing option. When we did have the leasing option way back when, we did find the majority of people who did lease it ended up owning the sorter in the end, as it proved beneficial to their business.
Awesome. And then the next one is, do you have any tips on how to maximize productivity with your Roca?
Productivity. So with the Roca, it would be dependent on kind of your store's operation and kind of what you're looking to do or how you want to sort them. I did talk with my friend at the Portland store, he told me his best way of going through his cards is he wants to sift out those cards for value first. So he'll sift out cards of value that he's looking to sell online or just those cards he wants to sell in store. So he'll run them through a sift at that value point that he's looking to get listed. So like again, say like cards above $1. From there, he'll pull those cards out, set them aside until he's accumulated 1,000 cards or 3,000 cards of that desired price threshold. And then he'll throw them through a sort so that he's fully organizing those cards of that desired price threshold in one shot while generating a CSV file of that price threshold. And then he's going to upload it to his TCG player store. So there's a couple different things you can do.
Yeah, and if you have any other questions regarding that, you can always book a meeting with Ryan directly to talk about your store and how the Roca could fit for your business. All right, the next question is, are there any risks to the cards being damaged?
So with this order, it's unlikely that it will damage those cards. It does use a soft suction cup. Now that suction cup is super soft and it does use a vacuum. That vacuum isn't strong enough to damage the cards. We do have a damaged card clause that is in our comprehensive coverage plan. If for any reason a card were to get damaged, we would be able to compensate for that. But also, if that were to happen, we do ask that you don't run the sorter, reach out to our team, and we'll be able to look into the issue for you. But yeah, it's few and far between.
Okay. Then the next question is a fairly easy answer, I believe, but are you able to edit scans when you're done to mark for a condition or errors?
They would have to be placed through again. Dan, if you could correct me. Are you able to edit the file, CSV file, or to change condition or any errors after the fact? I think you have to run them through again.
You can update the CSV, but you would need to reference the correct product condition ID number for your platform you're uploading to.
Yeah, so you'd have to identify that ID number essentially if you do that. The quickest way would probably just be to rerun that sort at the proper condition.
Okay. And then the next one is how to use the pack and lock creation tool. We do have a help file and an FAQ that I can drop in the chat real quick for everybody. So I will drop that in there. And if you have any additional questions after the fact, you can always book a meeting with Ryan to discuss that further. But the next question is how to best sort or pre-sort your storage of sorts.
So with the Roca sorter, right now, people are typically separating out foils from non-foils. With the sorter itself, you do have to run them by foiling types as there is no foil detection within the sorter. So you'll already have those kind of separated out if you are running them through a sort, so you'd be able to have them separated. But separating out those foiling types and condition types as well. Again, different stores operate differently within how they kind of store their products. If you are storing them just by set alphabetical and maybe you have your foils in the front or the back, you can have them set that way. But yeah, just by separating out those foiling types, as again, you do have to indicate that to the sorter. And then once it is finished sorting, if you do set alphabetical, that'll probably be the easiest way to fulfill orders, as you can go over to the set, go within that set and pull those cards out from their alphabetical area.
All right, and then can one machine do standard size and Japanese size cards?
No, it cannot. So we do have two separate machines, and it is basically due to the card size itself. So again, we do have the standard card size version, which will only do Magic, Pokemon, and Disney Lorcana. And then we have the Japanese card size version, which right now does exclusively Yu-Gi-Oh! Again, as I mentioned before early on, we are looking to expand our catalog into other TCGs, and those will come through software updates as you're on the comprehensive coverage plan.
Right. And then the next question is regarding source speed, the ability to tell if cards are hollow, reverse, hollow, etc. How many cards can be sorted in a lot? So that's a couple of questions in there. So I guess you can address the ability to tell if cards are hollow or reverse hollow.
Yep. Yeah. So again, as I mentioned, there's no foil detection within the sorter. It is something you do indicate on your tablet that you're provided. When you're in that screen there, it'll ask you the game type that you're doing. So you would select Magic, Pokemon, or Lorcana. And then it'll ask you the foiling type. So you'd have to do like a full foil run, a full non-foil run, a full reverse holographic run, or a full special foil run. And this is going to help the sorter identify those foils for you and give them the proper TCG IDs and variant IDs associated with those cards.
All right, perfect. And then the next one I will take, what is the accuracy of the image scan and cataloging? MTG, Yu-Gi-Oh! Do have dozens of cards that have minor details that are regularly missed by current scanners. So with that, the Roca image recognition is the most accurate recognition available on the market. We're able to be accurate with Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards by having the user input groups of rarities to differentiate cards. There are some exceptions to this where there are small variations on cards like invisible ink or subtle changes like cloak color that would need to be handled by hand at this time. I'm not sure if Ryan, you have anything additional to add to that or?
That's perfect.
Okay, cool. All right, next one. Are the scans available to upload? You only had a camera with a plus symbol on there. I currently believe that that is not supported at the time.
That was on the TCG portal. I believe that it was looking at with the camera with the plus.
I believe so.
Yeah, that would be on the TCG marketplace if you wanted to upload that image. We currently don't have image export. I don't know if we've worked on any kind of image exports at this moment.
All right, for the next one, can you elaborate on the role of a dedicated router? What purpose does the router serve versus just connecting to the regular network switch or router?
So the dedicated router keeps the sorter on its own network. Dan, do you want to explain on the router itself on why we have a dedicated one?
I do have an answer with it that I can pop in if you would like.
All right, sure.
So the sorter is pre-configured to search for the Roca router, which makes the setup process easier. The ability for the support team to connect directly to the Roca router aids in troubleshooting any networking or technical issues.
Perfect.
That's all I got. All right, the next one I can also take. Are there any future plans to expand scanning or sorting capabilities to additional cards such as Star Wars Unlimited and/or universes? Yes, we do have plans to add support for additional TCGs in the future. We don't have a current timeline that has been announced for any new games, so please keep an eye out for any of the announcements going forward. All right. You touched upon this in the presentation, but is the CSV able to be imported into Binder POS?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, TCG Player, Binder POS, Crystal Commerce, or eBay.
Okay, and you already talked about foil detection. In the event a store offers Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh, is there now a way to convert a machine to handle one or the other?
No, again, the sorters are separate machines due to the card sizing. But you'd either have one standard and one Japanese card size to support both those games. Unfortunately, at this time, we just have the standard and Japanese card size.
How loud are the machines?
They're 56 decibels. So like under a vacuum, they do make noise from the vacuum pump that there is here. You'll hear the piston moving, releasing, dropping down, releasing cards. So 56 decibels is what we have recorded on them. They do make some noise, but it's more of like, if you're in a room full of people talking, it's kind of like background noise. Maybe a little louder.
Okay, perfect. All right, next one would be, we already talked about the retail price because we had a question come in that asked, what is the retail price then if there is no lease option? We already highlighted that. If you want to, again, just in case.
Yeah, again, we do have the outright purchase cost of the Roca sorter. If you are looking for the 1,000 card capacity, standard card size version, does Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Disney Lorcana. That sorter is $22,500 plus $600 shipping for it. If you are interested in the Yu-Gi-Oh sorter, it's $23,500 plus $600 shipping. And then the Roca sorter Max is $32,500 plus $625 shipping. And then the Yu-Gi-Oh sorter is $33,500 plus $625 shipping. And then again, you do get that 1-year warranty with our comprehensive coverage and technical support plan. Again, ensuring that your Roca gets the latest software updates, set releases, tech support, and parts. And then it's $3,000 after that first year to stay on that plan for the software updates.
Perfect. Okay. And then the next question we had, which is, what is the max financing option that's available for that, you would have to book a meeting with Ryan just to discuss how your store is with our financing partners as well. They have a few qualifiers that we like to ask in the meetings before we send you over, and then from there, the financing partners will be able to give you the options when it comes to financing and all of that stuff.
Yeah, with financing, the pricing does vary based on credit score, money down, time of business. So we would have to connect you with the financing company. You fill out an application. If approved by the financing company, they'll be able to give you details on those rates. And they have a couple different terms that they do have available of like 36 months, 46 months, and I believe 60 months. And again, those rates could vary dependent from person to person. But if you are interested, again, feel free to book a meeting with me. Again, I'd love to be introduced to you, learn more about your business, and I'd be able to connect you to the financing department.
Perfect. And then one question that we had come through that I could answer is, what's the card scanning determination failure rate? So we put the cards, we are confident we identified correctly into a rejection bin, which Ryan had talked about when he was doing the presentation, so they can be manually processed. Our goal is to put less than 5 cards per 100 in this bin at the worst. Most sorts see less than 10 cards in the rejection bin. Did I touch on that properly, you think? Okay. Another one, hypothetically, could you load up an entire pull sheet of cards and use the lot builder to pick your orders for you? That's not the intended use of the lot creator, and this functionality is not supported at this time, unfortunately. But it is something that we'll look into. Does TCG Player use this card sorter for their business at all?
Yeah, TCG Player does use the sorters. It's something that they use to bring the cards in, get them organized, and so that we can file them away essentially into our large warehouse. So it is a trusted tool that they trust in its accuracy and its capabilities to work at a large scale. Now, like when it does come to scaling, like with the Roca sorters, like TCG Player again does use these. But I work with a bunch of people who are online only sellers looking to free up their time as they don't have the time during the day to get through all their backlog that they may have. They're looking for a more efficient way to get through those cards, get them easily digitized and listed to their store. And then I work with brick and mortars as well, where they're either looking to free up their time, again, be more efficient in getting those cards organized and listed, and then big warehouses like TCG. So yeah. Yep.
Awesome. And then the next question I can handle is, why would you not introduce automatic listing and pricing for the scanned cards? And we do that because most customers like to review the pricing and make adjustments before uploading, but that is something that we may support in the future. Now, the next question that we have that came through is one that was touched on in the presentation is, are you able to export the CSV file in a format that's compatible with Binder POS? Yes, you can do that. Yeah. All right. What is the approximate margin of error on sorting? I can also handle that one. There are varying confidence levels, which will have varying error rates. The best guess will almost always try to make a guess as to what the card is. So they may have a higher error rate, whereas conservative would have a very low rate, less than 1%. All right. Next question is, there is a question that came through. Is there a document with additional details around the financing options? We do have a few that we can send out. I will, if you book a meeting with Ryan, we can get them to you. I'm not sure who asked that, if we can get that to you directly, but when you book a meeting and you talk about financing, we do have a few one-pagers that we can send over your way that gives you a little more details into the financing partners and who they work for, or who they work with, I'm sorry. What happens if the machine breaks down before year 1? What happens if it breaks down after year 1? I can also answer that, Ryan, if you're okay with that. Okay. The support plan will cover any breakdowns, and the support team will fix the sorter or send out replacement parts as needed. After the first year, you will need to purchase an active support plan for any of the additional replacement parts, support team assistance, et cetera. That is the support plan that Ryan was talking about that averages out to about $3,000 a year.
Yep, the comprehensive coverage and technical support plan. Yep. So they'll be able to take care of the machine, get you the parts that you need for it, and then also on top of that, you'll be getting those software updates and set releases as well.
Yep. Okay. And then how fast will the machines go through cards? You did touch on this in the presentation.
Yep. 1,000 cards an hour for 1,000 cards an hour for sifting, 1,000 cards per 2 hours for sorting. And the Roca Sorter Max is around average of that speed. And our team is always constantly working on updates for the sorters. So we are working to get them as fast and accurate as we can, just daily. So we're always looking to make improvements where we can. And again, those will come through software updates as we work on making the sorter the best sorter it could be.
Does Roca have any trouble identifying cards on the list?
No, the list, mystery boosters, Borderless Planewalkers, double-sided cards, it's able to recognize those cards.
Okay, all right. And, okay, so the next one is, what quantity of cards would you say a store should be intaking at minimum to make a Roca worthwhile in your experience? Is it 1,000 per day, 5,000, 50,000 a month?
Yeah, so on average, like we do see people that do jump into and look into automation when they have a backlog of around like 30 to 50,000 cards. And now that's just like on a backlogs kind of time frame of them is like, hey, I got all these cards. I don't have the time to get through these cards, or like it's taking me longer than I really want. And you know, so I'm looking into automation now. Now you will have to kind of think on like if I'm having, you know, a Roca sorter, it doesn't limit you on like bringing in more collections because now you have a tool that's able to sort and get through those cards every 1,000 cards every 2 hours. So it would be dependent on kind of how often you're running it and how many cards you really want to get listed. So that would be kind of on you and your business plan of like how many cards should I bring in. But if you look like you're getting low and you don't have any cards to kind of put through, you should probably open boxes or buy bulk. To keep the sorter going, as by owning a Roca sorter, you're going to want to keep it moving and feeding it so that you can continue to list those cards to your TCG marketplace or binder POS or Crystal Commerce or
Perfect. This one I can answer. Are there any plans in the future to build a tray or something to insert into the machine so that it can handle both on one machine? Not at this time, unfortunately, but that is a great suggestion and we will take it back to the team. How long do we have before the free shipping discount is no longer available? I can also take that. That is through October 16th. So any orders that are placed before or between now and October 16th, you'll be able to be eligible for free shipping. How well does it handle set recognition with cards that have identical art? I know you talked to the question also asked about list cards, but I believe that it's pretty seamless, right?
Yeah, you can also do these specify a set.
Yep.
Dan, I don't know if you have a better answer on cards with similar art, how it recognizes those ones. Would it be best to use the specify set for those ones, or how's that kind of work?
Yeah, reprinted cards it does fairly well with, as long as there is a set symbol on the card. With ones that have been highly reprinted, like Soul Rings, for example, it might be better to use specify a set if you know you've opened a bunch of the same commander deck and are running that to identify it.
Cool. Thanks, Dan. How's that answer?
Yep. And if not, you can always book a meeting with Brian and we can help dive deeper into that for you. One question was, I wonder if a mini version would be made in the future, one that sorts a max of 500 cards, and is it a more affordable price point? That is something that we are considering. We would recommend that you just stay tuned to the Roca blog for updates on any future hardware development plans that we may have down the line. So one question that came in, if you decide after a year or more that you don't want the machine, or no, that you don't want the subscription, I'm sorry. Are you allowed to resell the machine or does the machine have to be returned?
Yeah, by owning the Roca sorter, you are able to resell the sorter on the secondary market. We do ask that we get in contact with the new owners of the sorter so that we can get them on that comprehensive coverage and technical support plan so that they'll be able to get those software updates that releases tech support and parts. But by owning the machine, if you are able to sell it on the secondary market, if for any reason like you just don't need the sorter anymore, or like you're choosing to leave the business or whatever the case may be, you are able to do that. Again, we do look to get in contact with the new owner so we can get them on the support plan.
Okay, perfect. And I noticed that we have about 1 or 2 minutes left, so I wanted to touch on a few more questions before we do end. Does warranty only cover 2,000 hours per year? This person mentioned that they plan on running it 16 hours per day. Would they need to purchase an additional warranty after they hit the 2,000 mark?
Yeah, so like when it does come to that, like we're pretty relaxed on that 2,000-hour operating time. Now our team will reach out to you when you do get close to that time. And instead of it being renewing it at the end of the year, it may just be sooner if you come up to that 2,000-hour mark and our team has reached out to you.
All right, perfect. Well, it looks like that's the end. I want to make sure that we don't accidentally cut off or anything. So if there are any questions that don't pop up, please just let me know, or not please let me know. Please book a meeting with Ryan. Ryan will be able to address any questions that you may have that we did not get to at this time. And we will also have a few supporting documents after the fact that will assist you if needed. So thank you. I appreciate you all for taking the time out of your day to join us. And we look forward to speaking with you in the future.
Pop up my QR code. We're gonna pop up my QR code so that if you do want to learn more, want to have more of a one-on-one with me, kind of see how it's going to fit in your current business procedures that you have, we'll be able to book a meeting. I'll do a one-on-one and we can discuss how the sorter will best fit and operate within your area. And so we're going to get this QR code up right here.
Yeah.
Again, feel free to book a meeting with me, reach out to me. And if you are interested in a Roca sorter, just let me know and I'd be more than happy to get you a sorter for you and your business so that you can start automating that process of organizing and digitizing that inventory. Thank you all and have a great day.
Take care, y'all.